It being on or about 6:30, I call the February 2nd, 2026 meeting of the Easton Conservation Commission to order. This meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by board and commission members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count towards a quorum. The meeting may be broadcast live and will be recorded on ECAT. So as always, let's fill your perfect timing. As always, let's begin with a roll call just to establish quorum. Carol, present.
Goodman present.
Spady, you're present.
Glad to be here.
Phil, you just cut out at the beginning, but we'll acknowledge your presence.
Thank you.
So our first agenda item tonight is a public hearing on a proposed change of the bylaw fee schedule. So we've had a couple projects come before us. Last year, we made a change to our bylaw amending the fee for categories 4 and 5. And we've had a couple projects come before us that, in my opinion anyway, have resulted in unintended inflated fees. So in the packet tonight, there was a presentation to edit and to change the fee schedule in which category 4 changes from $825 plus $6 a square foot to 2,100, which is double the amount of money of the state fees for the same category. Category 5 followed that pattern, getting rid of the $15 per square foot, and making it again double the state fees. Additionally, we have some proposed language change to review in bylaw section 503-23A and E. So another thing that has come up, which is identified in E, is adding language that the $10,000 maximum fee is for ANRADs only. I think that's been how we followed this, at least in my time on the commission, but it came up as a direct question. And so I think it's important that we have a conversation about that and incorporate the language. Jen, anything you want to add to this? I'm also happy to pull up the bylaw itself.
No, the draft is based on comments that people sent me individually. And so I compiled those and, made the best compilation as we could. And I can also share the screen and show them.
Would that be helpful to any other members of the commission?
Yeah, I'd like to see the screen.
Okay.
Please.
Yep. So I have sorry.
It's just loading on our end.
Okay. This is the first time I have two screens, so I can't tell if you're actually seeing it or not because it's no longer.
We can see it. It's up.
Okay, is it big enough or?
I can see it fine.
Yep.
Okay, so categories 1, 2, and 3 were left the way they were revised last year. That's category 4 and category 5. So removing the price per square foot. Anyone have comments or questions?
No, pretty straightforward. I like the the flat. I think the flat number's easier in terms of somebody looking at a project and trying to, do a cost benefit analysis. Flat number's just easier to work with.
Keep in mind under the categories, the fee could apply multiple times under the same category if there are multiple buildings, multiple driveways. I think following the state fee is a logical way to get where we want to go. There are towns around us that have lower fees for these items. And I just wanted to raise that.
Yeah, I would agree. And so that's concerning as it always is. But in general, looking at the types of projects that are affected in category 4 and 5, those projects are all advanced engineered projects. They're not they're not the typical small business, somebody putting in a landscape lot or a lot to hold construction equipment, or maybe build a small metal building for a small homeowner-based business, or just a small business in general. These, looking at dredging or treatment plants or hazardous material. I don't care much myself about being cheaper than anybody on those types of projects, so looks good to me.
Ben, you brought up a good point. Like category 4, sentence C, road or driveway construction not limited project or single family home. So if a residence or a property has 2 or 3 driveways, with that you're saying that fee would be involved twice or 3 times?
As long as it was not a limited project or a single family home project.
Huh.
And the fee categories are exactly the same description as Wetland Protection Act.
Okay.
I am pretty married to that too. Like I like following the Wetland Protection Act because it provides
Agreed.
some clarity. When you go to other towns' bylaws, it's a lot more confusing as to what the fee is.
That is true. I looked at some of our surrounding towns as well. I mean, I thought that these were pretty fair, but I wasn't looking at it that way, as if there were like multiple buildings or multiple roads or driveways. Not that that's changed my opinion, but it's just something I wasn't considering that now I am. It's interesting.
It's also only if those are in a resource area.
True. Yeah, I'm happy to leave it like this.
Is it also not true, Mr. Chairman, that we have the authority to waive any fees at any time as we see fit on any project?
With you, Commissioner Goodman, I don't know the answer to that. I've never done it. I assume it's discretionary, although we do have it right in our bylaw that we don't hear a project until a fee's been paid.
Yeah, correct. I can only speak. And I could be remembering wrong, so I will preface and lead out with I could be and may be wrong. I know in the past for different projects involving charities and nonprofits that we did waive whatever fees may or may not have been involved with those projects. And obviously, we don't want to be in the business of that, and we want to have bylaws that make sense. But obviously, every bylaw could be what ifed to the nth degree. So
that actually brings me to Jen. Perfect. So I actually wanted to raise that because section B and C talk about what's exempt. So B, town, county, state, federal project are exempt from a filing fee. C, the Conservation Commission will consider reduced fees in the following 3 instances. The language in 1 is something I just want to talk about real briefly. 1 says agricultural activities are not exempt under the wetland bylaw at section 227-3A. 2, projects by applicants that the Easton Assessor's Office find eligible for tax exemption. 3, activities by nonprofit organizations that enhance open space or wetland values. But section 1, I think, is just worded a little weird. I think it's intending to say agricultural activities that are not exempt under the wetland bylaw. I think it's intended to say that are exempt.
The way it was before the changes last year, I don't think they were exempt. Ag projects. So you could say, if you're willing to consider reduced fees for ag projects, then we'll just take out the word not.
Give me 1 second.
But new agricultural projects are category 1 anyway at $110.
Oh, okay. All right, leave that be.
As not exempt. I mean, take that out. The way it was.
Hold on. I'm just reading 227, section 3. I think we leave that alone because what it's saying is agricultural activities that are not exempt from the wetlands bylaw, as in require a permit, and that still leaves us with the discretion to modify the fee if it creates a hardship.
Okay.
So I think I just read that a little too quickly and was concerned about language. When you read 227.3, I think it makes sense. Okay.
Agreed.
Mike Spaded, Commissioner Spadia.
Yeah.
It's 2 mics there. Did you have any comments you wanted to add to this? I just want to go to comment.
No, I'm in total agreement of this. So this is much smoother than it was.
Any public comment here for the proposed change in the bylaw fee schedule? If you're here to comment, please raise your hand using the function at the bottom of the Zoom screen, and we will promote you to a panelist.
Oh, got one.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Would you mind just turning your camera on and introducing yourself for the record?
I couldn't find how to turn on my camera.
Should be bottom left-hand corner of the screen.
I just have an option for audio. Is that?
That's we'll take comment by audio. Just please introduce yourself for the record.
I'll try making him a panelist.
There you go.
Hi, my name is Deepak Wadhwa. I think we have a file that we are going to discuss later in the meeting, and ours was one of the projects that was impacted by the fees. So one of the things that I heard before was that that category 4 fees could be applied multiple times. I just wanted to get some clarification whether for our project would it be applied multiple times, or is it one flat fee for us? I mean, we can discuss it now or when we discuss our own project.
I think it makes sense to discuss specific projects when we get there.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Any additional public comment, please raise your hand using the Zoom function. Seeing none. I just want to be clear that we're all in agreement, or that what I'm making a motion on. So I'm making a motion to amend the fee and also to clean up subsection E, stating that the $10,000 cap is for ANRADs. I'm seeing a collective nodding of the head.
Huh.
Motion to amend the fee schedule as proposed, including an amendment to section E clarifying the $10,000 cap is for ANRADs.
Vecchio second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second, roll call vote. Carol, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio aye.
And we did it. Up next on the agenda is general public comment. This is an opportunity for members of the public to bring issues to our attention. We do not respond to public comments when they are made, but it's something that may become an agenda item in the future. So if anyone's here to give a general public comment not directed towards a specific project, please raise your hand. Seeing none. Let's move on to hearings and possible deliberations. Up first is 26 Summer Street, which is a request for determination of applicability for tree removal.
Okay, she's coming up.
Hello. So do I just plead my case, or
Yeah, no, just do you have any photos?
was I supposed to bring my documents?
That's okay. So
Oh.
introduce yourself for the record and then just tell us what
Sure.
you're looking to do.
Sure. So my name is Lisa Litkoff, and I live at 26 Summer Street. And I am having a problem with trees because my insurance company doesn't like that they hang over my house. And we actually have had 2 of them fall on the house and create substantial damage over most recently on 4th of July and then a few years ago also. And so the insurance company will not renew my insurance unless I have the trees pruned and or removed, or not and or removed, some pruned, some removed. One of the trees that they had identified is actually one of the ones that fell on the house on 4th of July. So that one just has to be cleaned up, what's left of the tree, which isn't a whole lot. So I'm hoping you'll let me do it so I can have insurance on my house.
How many trees are we talking about?
I believe it's 5 altogether, including pruning. And I guess now, and you probably know this, I'm sure you've heard this before, they use drones. And so they just look at your house from what the drone sees. And I love my beautiful trees and I'm very sad, but I don't have a lot of options.
Yeah, you also need insurance.
Yes, and I am concerned about the safety because the one tree like went through the house into my son's bedroom. So
Okay. Jen, have you been to the site?
I've driven by.
Any questions or comments from other members of the commission?
None.
None.
She doesn't have much of an option. She
Yeah.
needs to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Lisa, I'm in the same boat as you. I've been having trees at my house too, and yeah, it's been a fun game.
terrible. I want to say that I did have my insurance company reach out to try to see if I could find other insurance. But once the last tree fell on my house, I was like, I think they might have a point. So it's kind of scary.
Replanting shrubs is always lovely.
With much
I still
less
have lots of
volume.
other trees, but I do understand I know it's important too. So I understand why we're here, but
So what I do next is I'm just going to see if there's any public comment here to talk about this. Any public comment here for 26 Summer Street? Again, please use the Zoom function, bottom of the screen, to raise your hand.
Nope.
Seeing none, I'm going to make a motion. Motion for a determination under Wetland Protection Act as +5 and -3, and under the bylaw as -3.
Those are the good answers, Lisa.
Spady second.
Carol motion, Spady a second, roll call vote. Carol, I.
Gooden and I.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Yeah, although it sounds opposite, that's what you wanted. So thank you for coming in and bringing it to
Perfect.
your attention.
I really appreciate it. Thank you all very much.
Best
You're
of
welcome.
luck.
All
Be
right.
safe.
And I'll be in touch, I guess, to find out next steps. Do I just call a tree company or?
I'd mail you the permit probably Wednesday
Okay.
or Thursday, and then yeah, you can start scheduling.
Okay, perfect. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Of course, have
Have
a
a
good
good
day. Up next is 338 Turnpike Street, notice of intent for a septic system replacement.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, we can see you.
Lovely. I'm gonna share the plan. If you can confirm we're looking at it, I'll jump into it.
We're in.
Cool. For the record, Peter Lyons with Collins Civil Engineering Group, representing the property owner here. This is a notice of intent at 338 Turnpike Street for the repair of a failed existing septic system. Quick overview of the property. This is on the east side of Turnpike Street, basically surrounded by BVW to the north, east, and to the south. This is in, I believe, the Canoe River, ACEC. Looking at the plan, the existing septic system is just a leaching pit, basically right at the edge of the wetland at flag 8. Our proposal is to provide a new septic tank and pump chamber to a pipe and stone leaching field in the backyard. The 50-foot buffer is the orange line. You can see the goal of this is basically to maximize our separation to the 3 resource areas. We are able to keep all of the new components outside of the 50. There's just a very small sliver out here that's the 100-foot buffer, not big enough to really utilize. But in general, this is existing lawn area where the tanks are going. It's overgrown, not really many mature trees, pretty much just overgrown, unmaintained brush in the back of the property where the leaching field is going. Site access is going to be in from the existing paved driveway. That will be protected by sedimentation control lines as shown on the plan to the north and south. They extend from the garage to the existing stone wall on the back here. And then we have a secondary lines to the north. This is going to be for our primary construction, and a small little U-shaped for the decommissioning, which will be pumping and filling of the existing leaching pit. On the plan, we show 14 conservation posts pretty much along the existing tree line around the property, and then at the edge of the driveway to the south here. We've shown soil stockpile areas as well as dewatering locations. Again, maximizing our separation to the resources. Both of those are placed outside of the 50-foot buffer. Minimal grading change associated with this project due to the high groundwater, where the proposed leaching field will be coming up about 1 foot to 1.5 feet above existing grade. The proposed leaching field is to be loam and seeded as part of this project. We have provided a waiver for work within the ACEC as well as within 100 feet to the BVW. The summary of the waiver is basically we are replacing an outdated leaching pit in close proximity to the resource. We're not increasing any impervious. There are no alternative or better locations. We have, again, maximized our separation to all the resources. So really, this is kind of the best thing we could come up with here. Conservation post details, all our normal notes are on the plan. Not going to go through all of those. We do have notes for pre-construction meetings with the Conservation Commission and the contractor. If I missed anything, let me know. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
I'd seen a note that we were waiting for a DEP file number. Did you get one?
I believe that has been issued, yes. And this has also been approved by Board of Health.
Yeah, I mean,
As
otherwise, I
presented.
think this is a significant improvement over existing conditions. Any questions or comments from other members of the commission?
Nope.
Any staff comment, Jen?
Sorry.
Any staff comment?
Just a little bit of trash to remove, but no other comments.
Okay. Any public comment here for 338 Turnpike Street?
Nope.
Motion. Peter, I assume you'd like to close?
We would love to.
Motion to close the public hearing for 338 Turnpike Street.
Second.
Carol motion, Goodman second. Roll call vote. Carol, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Motion to issue an order of conditions and permit for work for 338 Turnpike Street.
Vecchio, second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second. Roll call vote. Carol, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, short and sweet. Thank you all. Have a good night.
You too.
See ya.
Moving on to continued hearings and possible deliberations. First up is 259 Massapog Ave, which is Borderland State Park Notice of Intent for Ecological Restoration Limited Project for the Atlantic White Cedar Swamp.
Is that Dan? Dan O'Brien? No.
No,
No, it was Ian and Megan Shave.
yeah.
I don't see anyone for this, but we don't have a file number from DEP yet either.
Okay. Let's call it again before we move past continued hearings, just for safe measure. So I'm not going to move to continue it yet.
Okay.
And let's just move on to our next project, which is 409, 413, 425 Turnpike Street. Notice of intent for mixed-use buildings, contractor bays, septic, stormwater parking, grading, and wetland restoration.
I don't see anyone from MBL either.
Interesting.
Yeah. Unless they asked for a continuance when I was out of the office.
Well, let's do the same as 259, and let's just move on, and I'll call them both again.
Okay. Caroline is up.
Up next is 8 Washington Street. Notice of intent for construction of child care facility.
We do have a hand raised.
We do. Do we have a hand raised still?
We do. Hold on. Crane date.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. So back to 413 Turnpike before I leave. I just want to make sure I'd get notification when that comes back up again, or do I have to look myself on the town website, or can you tell me?
We have not moved it yet, so we're actually going to do second, what I'll call second call on that, which means once we get through 40 Bristol Drive, we're going to call it again and see if the applicant and their team has shown up. But otherwise, you can expect this to continue meeting to meeting until there's either an approval or another vote. You will not receive another notice of a meeting from the applicant. Okay. So let me just, for the record, we are now turning to 8 Washington Street. Caroline, I apologize for the interruption.
Oh, no problem. I'm sorry, let me minimize my screens. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you and we can see you.
Fantastic. And I'd like to, for the record, my name's Caroline Reese. I'm an engineer at Merrill Engineers and Land Surveyors in Hanover, Mass. Thank you for hearing us. I wonder the applicant, Deepak Wadhwa, is here as well. Spoke up earlier, he may want to be promoted. But if you'd like, I can give a brief overview of the project. I know we've kind of been on hold until the fee issue was resolved, which I think it's resolved in a positive manner for the applicants, so appreciate that. So if you'd like, I could share the screen and show you the site plan and give you a brief overview of what we're planning. Okay, here we go. Okay. And can everybody see the site plan?
Yes.
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, so this lot is located at 8 Washington Street, and the applicant proposes to take the undeveloped portion of this lot and develop it as a child care facility with associated structures, including a paid parking area and large parking lot. But an overview of the existing conditions, the lot here, I'll zoom in, is approximately 80,000 square feet. It is bound by Washington Street to the west, Town of Easton property to the east, and private lots. There's commercial and multi-residential to the north and south. The lot is currently developed on the west side, about 30,000, 35,000 square feet of the lot I consider developed. Currently, there's an existing dwelling, a driveway, a barn, a septic system, and accessory structures. And currently, there's lawn extending up until this tree line here, if you get a sense. So this area of the lot is currently developed with structure or lawn. The owner proposes to build a child care facility in the rear portion of the lot, which is a primarily wooded area today. It would consist of a 3,737 and 10 square foot child care facility. There'd be a parking area, which is large enough to meet planning board requirements and other zoning requirements. And there would be a parking driveway access to access the lot from Washington Street. I should go back and talk about wetlands. Currently, there is an existing isolated vegetated wetland. They were flagged in October 2024 by Brad Holmes of ECR Environmental. So in the center of the lot, we have this isolated vegetated wetland, and about 2/3 of the lot slopes into this wetland. So you can imagine, we have the 50 and 100-foot buffers to that wetland. There's also a bordering vegetated wetland that's located off-site that he was able to partially flag. The 50-foot buffer encroaches just on the corner of the lot. Outside the limit of work comes up to it, but the 100-foot buffer to that bordering vegetated wetland extends into the work area. So we tried to lay out this lot, and the applicant did his best to lay it out, meet requirements, and stay out of the 50-foot buffer to the resource areas. So as I said, we have a child care facility back here, an unpaved play area in the rear that would be fenced, and really a large paved parking area to meet requirements for a child care facility, commercial facility. And to meet the stormwater requirements on site, there's a very large buried infiltration system, which is this gray hatched area under the parking area. It's 80 feet by 90 feet by about 1.5. I think it's 1.6 feet deep. We have a few test pits around. The soils were generally well draining, but groundwater was high, about 4 feet down. So we needed a thin system. It's 6-inch perforated pipe and stone system. We couldn't do chambers unless we significantly raised the grade, which caused grading and covers a larger area. So trying to keep it tight, we have a large system under the pavement. There are 4 outlets from the system that extend and would drain towards the rear of the property. They're outside the 50-foot buffer, and there are 9 emergency overflow observation ports in the parking area to keep an eye on the system. It's graded towards a catch basin, whether we do 1 or 2. We have 1 catch basin now, and the whole parking area is graded towards a catch basin to collect runoff and send it to the infiltration system. The roof leaders from the entire building are also directed to the infiltration system, as well as we have a yard drain in back in the play area that we're sending into the system as well. So a lot of areas going into that system, which requires the large size. And with that, the disturbance area is about 37,000 square feet, mostly wooded area. The increase in impervious area is, I have that, about 19,000 square feet. About 15,000 of it is from the driveway and parking area. And with that, I'll turn it back for questions.
I think we were waiting on a DEP file. Did we get that?
Oh, we do have that. I have the number here. It looked like it was sent to Jen, but I'm not sure, but I can read you the numbers and that if you'd like.
Please.
It's 152-1861.
And then Jen, this question is a little more for you. This required stormwater review?
Correct.
Where are we at?
The estimate is in permit eyes, and I think we were waiting to figure out what the application fee was before moving forward with that. So the stormwater review estimate has been approved by me, and then we just wait for the fee to be paid and the application fee to be paid, and then the engineer gets notice to proceed. Engineer will also be looking for the isolated wetland calcs from the hydrology handbook.
Yes, again, we were kind of waiting on that to see where we were today, but we will work on that. We'll get those to you.
Yeah. Okay.
With the stormwater.
And Brad and I talked about trying to do a joint site inspection to look at where the flags are. I have seen ponded water much further up than where Brad had seen it. You know, I saw it with a previous wetland file. Brad saw it during 2 years of drought. So that is something we do need to take a look at together and make sure we agree on the line as well. But
Yeah.
isolated wetland is different than isolated land subject to flooding, so this can happen simultaneously.
And so I'd wait to do those calcs until you both agree on the area of the wetlands, I believe.
So tonight is just the first presentation, knowing that we've got other reviews and site inspections that need to be done.
I don't have a substantive comment yet, but I kind of look forward to stormwater review because I think your infiltration basin is very interesting.
I'm just going to stop sharing so we can
Thank you.
chat as well.
Any other questions or comments from members of the commission? Any public comment here for 8 Washington Street?
So Jen, your site visit, I guess it's going to happen in spring once the.
Well, I wouldn't say, I don't know that I would say spring. We can do site inspections when there's snow, just not this many feet of it. So, yeah, once we can, we go out as soon as we can reasonably, make our judgment call on the property. So we'll get out as soon as we can, but it would need some snow melting first.
Okay. And that's to determine those flags, right? To make sure those are, yes.
Correct. To look at the flags that Brad put up, but then also to look at whatever signs of, water staining that we would see on rocks or the ground surface, or changes in vegetation that would indicate there's more water in a certain location than another. Rack lines of leaves or sticks from water ponding. We probably do need to have a lot less snow or no snow for that one.
Mhm.
So, Jen, what is the next meeting date?
February 23rd, which I don't think we'll be ready for that one, just
Mhm.
between the snow and the stormwater review.
Mhm.
One after that would be March
Mm.
16th.
Okay.
Let me just
Okay.
check.
Yeah, as I understand, before I make revisions, I'd really want those wetland flags agreed upon, because it hinges on that.
Yeah, March 16th would be the meeting after that.
Okay. Seeing that we have no public comment, I'm going to make a motion to continue. Motion to continue 8 Washington Street to the March 16, 2026 meeting of the Easton Conservation Commission.
Second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second. Roll call vote, Carol, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Up next is 40 Bristol Drive.
They've requested a continuance to the 2/23 meeting.
Thank you. Motion to continue 40 Bristol Drive to the February 23rd, 2026 meeting of the Easton Conservation Commission.
Goodman, second.
Carol motion, Goodman second. Roll call vote, Carol, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
So let's just circle back to the projects where we did not have presenters present. First up is 259 Massapog Ave. Notice of intent for ecological restoration project for Atlantic White Cedar Swamp. If anybody's here for that, please raise your hand and we'll promote you to panelist.
Nope.
Seeing no one, motion to continue 259 Massapog Ave to the February 23rd, 2026 meeting of the Easton Conservation Commission.
Beatty, second.
Carol motion, Spady a second. Roll call vote, Carol, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Beatty, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Up next, 409, 413, 425 Turnpike Street. Notice of intent for mixed-use buildings, contractors' bays, septic, stormwater parking, grading, and wetland restoration. If you're here for that project, please raise your hand and we will promote you to a panelist.
I still don't see anyone on the team.
Okay. Motion to continue 401, 413, 425 Turnpike Street to the February 23rd, 2026 meeting of the Easton Conservation Commission.
Goodman, second.
Carol motion, Goodman second. Roll call vote, Carol, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Next up, we have a modification request.
Before we do that, just make sure everyone understands that 409, 413, 425 Turnpike is at the next meeting. There will not be another notification through the mail.
Thank you for doing that, Jen.
Yeah. And Megan is next.
So that is 560 Foundry Street. We're calling it a modification request, Sawmill Village LLC. Amend house type and impervious surface for 12, 20, 46, 45 Cutter Drive.
Hey, Megan.
Megan, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I had the mechanical mute on my headset on. Megan Dutro with Conoco Engineers, representing Rick Lincoln for the project. Screen share. So our request is to change 4 of the units located at 12 cutter, 54 cutter, 20 cutter, and 46 cutter to a new unit type. The reason for the change is just based on what we've been seeing that people basically prefer for the types of units that they're actually buying. Um, for the request, because of the different orientation of the units, we also had to change the driveways, and then the unit itself and the driveways together caused a change in impervious on the site. Scroll it in here a little bit so you can see a little more clear. You can see we have the 200-foot riverfront area running here from Beaver Brook. The orange hatch is where the previous impervious lied within the riverfront area, and the purple hatch is where the new impervious area is within the riverfront area. The other 2 units, 54 cutter and 56 cutter, lie outside of the resource areas and buffers. So into our calculations. We went through the stormwater to double check that all of our existing stormwater features, which are all constructed on this side, would still work. They all still produce rates that are lower than the existing, as well as a volume of runoff that is lower than the existing. The peak elevations of the stormwater below the berm elevation are essentially the same. For Basin 1 and Basin 2, there's technically a slight increase of 0.02 feet, 0.01 feet, but that's basically negligible when you think of construction tolerances. If you have a construction crew that's able to get to a difference in 0.02 feet, then it'd be pretty impressive. Overall, these areas that were impacted with the new impervious weren't really contributed previously to the really the ecological habitats, since they were already included within kind of the middle of the site where the residential lots were already planned. And I can take any questions.
Got any staff comment here?
I don't. The change in the plan did require them to come to you to explain what the change is, but because it doesn't actually result in a change to any of the specific conditions or any new conditions, this can be handled as a minor modification.
Any questions or comments from other members of the commission? Any public comment here for the modification request to 560 Foundry Street?
Nope.
Seeing none, I make a motion to issue the minor modification request as requested by the applicant.
Vecchio second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second. Roll call vote. Carol, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Spady, aye.
Vecchio, aye.
Thank you, Megan.
Great, thank you. Have a good night.
Up next is certificates of compliance. First up is 5 Ford Circle.
Okay.
First and only up.
We do have, I think, the property owner, maybe.
Hi, my name's Gary Losowitz. I built a home at 5 Ford Circle.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm looking for a certificate of compliance.
So the plan that was submitted needed a revision to be the as-built plan. We did receive that. With the snow on the ground, I really couldn't confirm that the area is stabilized. We did ask for a few photos. They were sent, but did not definitively show the whole site. So site inspection still needs to be done for this one.
Okay.
So we'll keep this on the agenda until we're able to complete that.
Okay. Did they send you pictures? They didn't send pictures? Scott Rogers sent pictures? Or?
They sent a few photos, but they did not definitively show that the whole area is permanently stabilized.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. We tried the picture route. I was hoping that would work for you, but.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do we do? Put it on for April or something?
Yeah, so typically we don't move to continue them. We'll just leave it on until the next meeting. But I think it might be a little unrealistic that we'll get it done by the next meeting.
Alrighty.
Just in relation to how the weather looks, but we'll keep it.
Yeah,
We'll stay
the
optimistic.
tough winter. Alrighty.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll do our best to get it completed for you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Moving on to enforcement. First up is 8R Quanticut.
Yeah, I don't know if they're here. Yep. Okay, hold on.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Dan.
Hi.
How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
So late last year, in December, we noticed that some vegetation had been removed from the edge of the pond,
Yep.
which is a violation. And so that's why you got the letter.
Mhm.
It's actually adjacent to that 561 foundry that we had at the last meeting, and they presented their restoration plan, just so commission members know they're right next to each other. And so, yeah, we were looking to do a site inspection, but with the snow, we're not going to see too much. And I know you sent a reply, an email reply. So do you want to go over your email reply so the commission?
Sure. Yeah, I can just highlight it. So,
Sure.
Yeah, during my fall cleanup, I removed poison ivy and thorns that had overtaken an existing green plastic 2-foot fence that we have. The fence is along the pond and the property line. The fence, I mean, it definitely predates our ownership. Jennifer, you might remember it from the 2023 visit about the ash trees. Yeah, so that fence was, it's been there a long time. And yeah, for whatever reason, over the last summer, the poison ivy and the thorns were really bad. So at any rate, when things died down, I tried to remove the poison ivy and the thorns as best I could. We used the fence to keep our kids away from the water. But like no grading or filling or expansion occurred. I only used my own hands and hand tools, and I didn't hire anybody. I was really just trying to get rid of the poison ivy. To be honest with you, it was pretty bad up and down. So.
Understood. So we'll probably need to sort of put this on hold until we can do a site inspection with you and take a look at the area.
That makes sense.
Okay. But thank you for replying and coming in.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Puxatawny Phil said 6 more weeks of winter. So.
Okay. Probably some. I mean, if the snow clears sooner than April, then we'll certainly make an appointment to get out there and take a look at it and have one of the commission members join as well. I know the people next door are starting their restoration work after April, and that's our, get back in touch point as well.
Yeah, and I mean, as you guys know, the area can look very different depending on the season. So, I think if you wait till that time. you'll see things are blooming again. You know, it's yeah. I'll just say I really wasn't. I didn't intend to cause any issues. I apologize for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
Yep. Take care.
Up next is 370 Bay Road.
With the snow, they've asked for a continuance. Well, they requested the 223 meeting. I can also let them know they can wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Just because, we'll just say after some snow melt, and then maybe that could be a commission member can look at both of them the same day. We can sort of shoot both of those out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then 718 Turnpike.
Still no reply from the final letter and the fine that had been sent, and town council is looking at some options for me to get back to you.
All right. So we'll leave that alone until next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to board discussion, MVP 2.0 seed project.
Yes, our municipal vulnerability preparedness grant that we got almost 2 years ago now allowed for $50,000 for a seed project. And so from boats, Nate and Phil standing around asking people what they'd like to see at some of the events in Norton. People voted residential tree maintenance is their preference for a future project between now and June. And so it's on the agenda just to see, we're mostly thinking of it like an educational campaign. But from the commission's perspective, is there something in particular we should focus on, or workshops, print, social media? Where would most people get the most amount of information? Is there anything in particular you guys think we should focus on? My suggestion was coming up with things for homeowners to tell their insurance company about, hey, I have to, get permits for this, so please give me some grace period. We'd also include, invasive insects that are affecting trees, why deadwood is good wood, leaving some of the standing snags so that the woodpeckers come in is something that we've talked about education on that issue for a little while. Would you rather see a Zoom education event or an in-person, this is how you prune your trees event, or print, you get something in the mail and hopefully people read it and don't just immediately recycle it?
I do
I'll
feel
do
the
one in
social media
February.
blasts work well.
Okay.
I've just seen it in town, like if people just text me like, "Oh, hey, I saw you guys did this." And I was like, "Oh, well, it got." I mean, just it hits people really quick,
Okay.
but it doesn't hit everybody, so it's not
Right.
not our biggest audience.
Right.
I would think a combination of what Michael said, some sort of, obviously we post it to the conservation section of the website, or maybe the town website, or maybe the homepage for a certain amount of time for people to see. And then, either a webinar or a Zoom, or something live with live speakers. But definitely, social media for the people who are on that. And then, yeah, I don't know where you'd even. I hear many people have said to me, "Oh, they should put it in the newspaper," and I'm like, "What newspaper? Would you read something?" Right? It's sort of. I understand what they're saying. They're not on social media and they don't go to the town website or websites in general. But where does that leave you? Because we can't just randomly mail stuff to. I mean, that's cost prohibitive. So.
Yeah. Okay, if you have any other thoughts, just shoot them over to me, please. That would be lovely.
Can I just put a pamphlet together that says, please treat your peach tree for leaf curl so I don't have to keep treating mine? And we'll spend the whole budget on that.
Seems fair as long as we get free peaches.
So that just kept repeating in my head until I said it out loud.
Well, now the song is in my head, so we're gonna have to move on to the minutes.
I review meeting minutes of 1/12/26.
I'd like to take a motion to approve the meeting minutes from 1/12/26.
Anybody got a second? You're gonna leave them hanging like this? Actually, on
I
motion,
wasn't
Speedy
there.
a second.
That's true. Yeah, Goodman couldn't. That's
Sorry.
That was just directed entirely at Spadia.
It really was.
Roll call vote, Carol, aye.
Spady, aye.
Dashiell, aye.
Goodman abstain. Sorry, I went out of order.
It's all right. Up next is Mass Wildlife Survey regarding hunting.
Yeah, they put out a survey about hunting. Normally, if it's something we've already discussed, I'll just answer it for you. But this one we haven't talked about, so I figured we should bring this up. So there's 3 issues that they're trying to get some feedback from residents on. One is, how do people feel about not hunting on Sundays? Still keep that? People feel like, no, you should hunt every day. Any thoughts on that?
Hunt every day. Get more fees so we have more money to pay for things.
I also believe that hunting should be allowed on Sundays.
Yeah, I'm opposed for hunting on Sundays.
I'm also opposed for Sunday hunting.
Mixed bag. Okay, so
we gotta wait for Nate.
Yeah.
Do we have to vote on this?
No, it's not. It's not voting. So the no hunting. I'm going to put both answers in there because it's what you guys are discussing, and they should have all the feedback. So for no hunting, any primary reason why you want to put that?
Yeah, I mean, I love fall. I have a little kid. I like having Sunday to be able to walk in the woods and know that nobody's hunting in areas where I know hunting occurs.
Yep.
And I also think sort of the long-standing tradition of not hunting on Sundays has its pros. Like I remember being a kid and going scouting with my dad on Sundays because you could walk around, not bring any weapons, and I thought it made it pretty family friendly. Yeah, I would rather see the hunting season extended.
Yeah.
So to jump on Ben's point, yeah, I think we should go for a larger good. I think going for a extended season, saying a September season, which other states like Maine that also has a no hunting on Sunday, they have a very successful September hunt. Furthermore, Sunday hunting only allows 12 Sundays to hunt, and the point of hunting in reality is conservation of these animals. So you're only allowing 12 extra days, where if you really could benefit from a greater good of a month, that's conservation. That will actually do what we need to do in terms of helping the herd. So, I get the point. This allows people that maybe have job constrictions to go hunt on a Sunday, and I understand that. But in a month of September, if you can't get out, you get out of work at 5, you have till almost 8 o'clock with last light to hunt, and most people can make that pretty feasible. Wherein, if you think about getting later in the months, if you can't get out of work at 1 o'clock, you're not going to get in the woods at night anyway. So it's like one of those give to get. I get Sunday hunting, but I think there's a larger get, and I think we should get after that, especially for conservation purposes.
Good points. Good points.
Okay, but then the yes Sunday hunting. What are your guys' thoughts?
One of the biggest things for me is job constraints, as Mike said. I feel like it's a big benefit to have the ability to hunt on Sundays, and also it gives a second day. I'm going to kind of go opposite of what Chairman Earl said. Gives people an opportunity to hunt with their younger family members. A second day to be able to do that and help pass that tradition on. Something that my father and my family did with me a lot. On Sundays, I lived in another state, but that allowed Sunday hunting, and I always remembered that, and it was a really great experience, and it was a good tradition to learn. I feel like that would benefit Massachusetts greatly.
Okay, and Mike.
Well, I definitely would agree with Commissioner Vecchio's comment about the family hunting on Sunday, and it is a job thing. Nowadays, most people do work 6 days a week, and I'm just generally opposed to opposition of things for people here. So why not? And I do know personally of probably half a dozen people who would take out licenses, but they don't because they only have Sundays available. So if we extrapolate that out, collect a few extra fees, doesn't hurt to have some more money in the coffers for conservation efforts. That's it.
Okay. All right. Next one is allowing crossbows or not. I don't know much about crossbows, so.
I'm not mistaken, crossbows currently are only permitted for hunters with like a disability.
Correct.
Per doctor's note.
Doctor's note, right. Again, sticking kind of with the tradition of a bow, I get that there's other benefits of a crossbow, but I don't know. I kind of feel like that should sustain.
When are we going to allow crossbows?
What's that?
What's the proposal for crossbows? Is it during bow archery season?
It would be through, yeah, they will just be another part of archery. So it'd be, you could essentially hunt it through the primitive arms season. So all the way till the end of December 31st, you'd be able to hunt with a crossbow, which you can now if you had said note to do so.
I think crossbows are a lot more effective pound for pound than bows, and I just wonder how that would impact the season.
I mean, I work in an archery shop. I do this daily. They are, but they have a lot more malfunctions involved with them. They're not what they give people is maybe more the chance to take a shot they normally would not take with a bow and arrow, which in terms of safety could be something to think about. This is something to tie into with Jen's next point is the setbacks. If they want to shorten said setbacks and you give a weapon that's a little more effective, it could open up some other doors that maybe we don't want to go down that may hinder our abilities to go hunt. Again, we're at 150 feet already, 150 yards already with a setback. We're already pretty close. You add a crossbow, more people's hands. It's going to be interesting. Personally, even at our archery shop, that's something we'd oppose. It's not. It's an interesting weapon of choice.
I don't know enough to have a strong opinion on whether or not crossbows make sense in archery season, or make sense.
Is there anything
it's
where it'd be like Western Mass? That's a suitable location for it. Eastern Mass, a little too congested. I don't hunt, so I don't know about crossbows.
I mean, in Easton, you could find spots that are very safe to go do it. It's really upon the hunter to make a good judgment call where he's hunting.
And that's with every shot, right, Mike?
What's that?
That's with every shot that you should.
110%, exactly. Because we're allowed to use shotguns, and we're very close again. So that's much more powerful than any crossbow they're going to be putting in your hand. It's a different tool. See, I mean, I just say no because I work around them often, and I often fix them and see what they can do. And I've had friends that have been very hurt from them, and I'm just not a strong believer in either. The shop I work for. So
I defer to Commissioner Spadia.
I have a brother who was handicapped, and he hunted with a crossbow. He wasn't very effective, but that was really more a nature of his handicap, not a nature of the weapon itself. In general, I'm in favor of it because I'm not in favor of opposition or those who, as Jen said, Jen's a highly educated, intelligent person, has so much knowledge about wetlands and lots of different things that I could never have. But as she said herself, she doesn't have knowledge of weapons. And lots of other people who are passing judgment on this regulation or regulation change don't have that knowledge. There's, to me, as Commissioner Spadia and Vesci pointed out, it comes down to the hunter itself. So what's the difference between a a double barrel side by side, 12 gauge, you know, with deer slugs or double aughts and a crossbow. And
you get
as far as you know, general safety and shot selection and things like that, there's no choice. It all comes down to is the hunter making good choices or not. And again, I'm just opposed to regulation. I think where, you know, the lists of banned weapons and all that type of thing, I am just in opposition to that in general. So I'd like to see that opened up. And honestly, I think the crossbow is more for the person who isn't comfortable hunting with a rifle, and they're probably not going to effectively go out there and fill their tag with it. I think it's more of a checkbox activity, to be honest. You know, like kind of, hey, I did it, I tried it, but you know, hey, to each their own.
So anything about hunter education on proper crossbow use?
There already is within hunter education anyway.
They already have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's some pretty good programs.
Okay. All right. I think I have enough there to put your different answers together. And then the last one is changing the setbacks, but they don't tell us what
they're changing.
It left you blank.
the potential would be.
Dealer's choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say you can't say anything until you get a number. Because again, it's already close enough. If you can't get a deer to come to you in 150 yards, you're not at the right tree. I'm sorry. and if you really want to go that close to someone's house, they'll be drinking their coffee, looking at you, whacking them. So I don't know. We live in a pretty tight area now. I mean, it's unfortunate, but we do.
Right. That's a good point, Mike.
I mean, every turkey's at everybody's bird feeder. Try to hunt a turkey in Easton; it's impossible. And if you're going to want to set a setback, I can't go in their front yard. So I don't know what it's going to be.
There's a rule against bird feeder turkeys?
You mean nets? I don't know.
I think what we have is a very fair compromise that makes pretty good sense the way it is.
Yeah.
Like you said, I unless they, you know, throw a specific number on it,
Right.
It's pretty good, you know, where it is. Like you said, it unfortunately, as Jen pointed out, you'd almost have to say, yeah, you could do it in Western Mass, but not out here where we're all built up on top of each other out here.
Yep.
I think don't fix what ain't broke. On that part.
Agreed.
Okay. All right, that's good. Thank you.
That was fun. We should decide policy issues more often.
Right.
Up next, CPC update.
No update yet. Our next CPC meeting is next Thursday, the February 12th. So I will not have an update until the 20th.
That's good.
Now, chair updates. I don't have any updates for you this week. Environmental planner updates.
In the binder, you received an email from a resident about Concom signs and hunting. Yes, everybody's upset about the mill pond sign. So I've asked the sign company if they could give us an estimate for using the same language and coming up with another sign, and they're going to get that estimate back to me. Residents have offered to do a fundraising campaign, so that would be helpful. The other part of the email was about hunting at night. My response to that is just, you need to call the police. There's not anything I can do about hunting at night. So yeah. The police department is the appropriate place to bring that.
The environmental police or like the town police?
Either.
Yeah.
I mean, you're more likely to get... There's only about 4 environmental police for the whole state, so they're pretty busy, and they're not likely to...
No, he was actually that officer for our town was just in my shop the other day, so he says it's pretty tight, and he's got like every town around us. So
yeah,
it's
for every issue you could think of.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 8, whatever. Anyway, You could try local police, but the MACC conference is February 28th. Glad you're going, Phil. Hopefully you'll have a good time, and I'll see you there. I should be at either the vernal pool table or the conservation agents group table down in the basement. Not teaching this year, so
Yay! I'm very excited to be gone. I'm really looking forward to it.
good. You should. It's a good time. If anybody else wants to go, please let me know. You do need to register very soon, but we do take that out of our budget. You know, commission education is important to us, so we make sure we have money that we put aside for that purpose. Special town meeting, spring town meeting was called for May 18th, which means we need to change our meeting night. Probably to May 11th, because the week after, I think, is Memorial Day.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So it'll have to be May 11th, and town meeting articles are due on February 23rd. We don't have anything to put there.
I'm open the 11th.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for me.
Any pertinent item not reasonably anticipated by the chair? Seeing none, motion to adjourn.
Vecchio second.
Carol motion, Vecchio second. Roll call vote. Carol, aye.